You're probably not going to watch this entire video. It's fine, I get it, you've seen way too many cringy high school dropouts teach you how they travel the world. I'll be honest, okay? Yes, I'm a high school dropout, and no, this video will not include underage drinking, scamming people, and getting rented cars. Instead, imagine a life where you're able to travel the world, have friends that are like-minded, and take your online passion full-time. I feel like no one else on YouTube is able to break down how they truly afford their travels, but today, I will. Here is how I was able to travel the world, and how you can too. Enjoy. My name is Jade Dharmawangsa. I dropped out of high school when I was 16 years old because I was able to take my online passion full-time. You're probably thinking that's bullshit and you do not know what that means, but I promise I'll break it down. Here's the truth. When I was growing up, I looked up to my dad for inspiration. I was born in Los Angeles, but I've moved around a few times because my father lost his job. He was actually able to build his company to $2 million in 2 months when I was just a little girl. But suddenly the economy crashed in 2008 and we had to move everything and move to Texas. In Texas, I've learned how to hustle and really just go through life minimalistically. I ended up losing my home, losing my friends, and just starting over again. But keep in mind, I was only 9 years old, so I was pretty chill with everything until I was around 9 years old when I moved to Portland, Oregon. When I moved to Oregon, I just realized how everything was a little different. Most teenagers got jobs, most teenagers went to college and lived their life with society's norms. I was pressured so much to fit in because I wanted to be cool and become ASB president and become everyone's favorite student. Financially, we weren't doing so well. I remember wanting to join dance and violin lessons, but we couldn't afford it some weeks, so I would just have to save money so I could eat and go to school. But learning that, I remember how my dad was able to start a business, even when his family said no. Growing up, I always knew that business could be risky and have lots of failures, but I was willing to take that risk. Now that I'm 17 years old, I remember my dad taught me 3 things. 1. Make money by giving people value. 2. Spend money on experiences because life is short. And 3. Focus on the people around you, because beyond money, people are the most important thing. Using my dad's advice, this is how I was able to travel the world. I've been to London, Paris, Barcelona, Amsterdam, Seoul, Jakarta, and Bali. All this in the span of 1 year. Okay, here's the thing. I knew if I wanted to make money, I needed to work hard because I didn't have startup investment capital like most rich kids would. I actually started with photography. I found an old camera in my garage and started taking photos for $100 per session. This is when I was around 15. When I was 16 years old, I realized that I was good at photography, so I could teach people how I was good at photography. Then I started moving into consulting. I would book gigs starting from $20 an hour to $300 an hour. I would basically be on a phone call for 1 hour teaching people how I was able to take photos and grow a brand online because I love posting photos on Instagram. These consulting calls don't look like much, trust me. I would basically get an email of people interested based on YouTube videos I would make. But getting $100 to $300 an hour added up. In 1 month, on April 2018, I was able to make my first $2,000. That same month, I actually turned 17 years old. And with that money, I spent it on dinner with friends and the people around me, because I knew my dad's advice would be always about experiences and people. People. Alright, so now that you guys know I made money by consulting and taking photos in the very beginning, I'll teach you how I used my $2,000 to travel. A lot of people think traveling takes millions of dollars. It just takes a couple $100 and a lot of patience. So here's the thing, the flights are the most expensive part of traveling. I recommend booking 1 to 2 months prior. I use Google Flights because it gives me the cheapest options and I get to filter throughout many airlines. This winter, you guys saw I actually went to Bali and my tickets were around $1,000 each. But that's when you book your tickets a little too late. When I went to Europe this year in the summer, I actually booked my tickets 2 months prior and it only costed me $450 round trip. I recommend flying on WOW Air or Asiana if you're going to Asia. These are super cheap airlines and if you book 2 months prior using Google Flights, you will get a deal. So I recommend reserving at least $1,000 for flights if you're traveling internationally. The next step is having a home. I'm not someone who's really picky. I can literally live in a shack or a hut if you really care. When I went to Bali, I basically got an Airbnb to split with 5 people. I found it's a lot easier traveling with friends because you can split the costs and it's a lot more enjoyable. I went on Airbnb 1 month prior and again found a villa for $100 a day on Bali. This is split with 5 people, so the cost was around $20. Super manageable. Plus, if you're traveling for 3 weeks, which is I was, that's around $400. So great, we have $1,000 flights, a $400 living expense. Now it's time for transportation. If you're going to Bali, I recommend downloading the app called Gojek. It's basically like Uber, but just for Indonesian transportation. It's around $5 a day using Gojek if you're traveling around Indonesia. Okay, now listen, I really can't go cheap with my food. Some of you guys know, but I have a stomach problem where I basically can't digest food, which means I really can't poop. But yeah, I basically have a strict diet where I can't really eat too much gluten, so I have to spend a little bit more money on food than the typical teenager. That's just an excuse, honestly. I just love food. But in Bali, it's actually super affordable. You can get an acai bowl for around $3, and you can also get a whole meal for around $10 a person. I actually have a whole video coming out on how I spent $20 a day in Bali. It'll be linked down below if you guys want to check it out. But let's just say approximately food will cost $10 a day. If you have a really specific diet like me, it can cost $20 a day. Alright guys, so now we're gonna put it all together and do the math. Bear with me, I'm a high school dropout, so we're not sure if this is going to be really accurate, but here's the gist. For a 20-day trip for one person costs $1,000 for flights, plus $400 for living expense, plus $100 for transportation or Uber, and around $200 for food. This is all for a 3-week time period. I have a lot of friends I know that look at this lifestyle and think it's impossible, but if you can figure out a way of taking your passion and teaching people how you did it or how you're really good at it, whether it's tutoring or consulting or lessons, you can literally travel the world for $2,000. And by the way, you guys, I'm not talking about a $2,000 lifestyle that's bitchy and stingy and not fun. With $2,000 in Bali can go so far. We were able to kind of live big. For once, I was able to go outside my parents' home and live a little bigger than usual. Check this out. So I still ask myself, even when I was traveling, making money, why wasn't I extremely happy? Like, I was so thankful, but why wasn't I like a changed person? I thought I would be enlightenedly so powerful. Then I remember going back to what my dad taught me. It's about the people you surround yourself with. I thought that was the most bullshit cliche advice, but there came so much truth to it. If it weren't for my friends, I wouldn't be here. So this is how you can assemble a squad. So I went to Bali with my friend Haley, Ryan, Rafi, Wen. Yeah, that's it. And they're the best friends ever. To give you a rundown, I met Haley and Ryan at VidCon. We were Instagram DMing. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen my video on Instagram DMs to find and grow your network, check out below. It 100% works. So many of my friends are met through Instagram. So is Rafi. We met through Instagram in March, and Wen met on Instagram also in January. We all decided to come together to Bali because we all are creators and found a lot of passion in traveling. I think something you can learn about my experiences is before traveling, you want to make prior connections. You literally want to make friendships way before you decide to travel. I would start tomorrow and just start DMing people and starting conversations online. I'm telling you, you don't want to typically travel the world with complete strangers, but if you have 2 to 3 months of repertoire or you're talking back and forth, it makes it a lot easier to connect. With all my friends, I basically met them 6 to a month before we decided to go out, and the key was really just making genuine connections, not to just use people for a trip. We all mutually agreed we wanted to go to Bali because we had this group chat where we would joke around of places where we want to go, and if anyone knows me, if you ever suggest a place to go, I'm not one of those bitches that just says shit to like be cool and fit in. Like, if you say something, I will actually go there. So I remember Haley actually told me she was surprised when we all decided to actually go, because at the beginning it was a joke. But I think when you really find a group of people that are so passionate about creating and learning more, it's obvious you have to book your tickets and go. And fortunately, it is about money. Like, all of us could afford to travel, so I know it's super hard in high school, especially to find a squad that can, you know, maybe fly out and buy tickets, because it does cost $2,000 as you saw. But really remember in the beginning of this video when I said that I did not start out with much. I was really patient and I saved up a lot. And here's the thing. I live by this #1 rule. If you ever have a financial crisis when you're traveling, remember you can either spend less or make more. You need to have an abundant mindset when you're traveling, because there's times where I would check my bank account and not be able to just breathe. But I remember to either spend less or make more. It's super simple. Be abundant. If you don't have enough money, just think about ways to make more. If you don't have enough money, you can also just hold back on your expenses. It's not impossible. So I'm telling you, if you have friends that maybe can't afford it, spend less or make more.
We can make it so divine. We can talk it good, how you wish it would be all the time. This dream isn't feeling sweet, but reeling through the midnight streets, and I've never felt more alone. Feels so scary getting on. This dream isn't feeling sweet, but reeling through.
So now wrapping it all together, I'm telling you, it's about the people that you surround yourself with. We didn't necessarily need the most expensive villas or the most expensive business class plane rides to have a good time. It's truly about connecting with people that care and love you. And I'm telling you guys, if there's one thing you can learn from this video, it's just remember the people that you surround yourself with, because you will always feel empty no matter how much you travel, no matter how much money you make. Trust me, I've seen so many of my friends go through this, but you'll never be abundant without having love and the people around you. It's super cliche. So I want to thank my friends for being there for me. I want to thank my parents for believing in me when no one could, because I dropped out of high school when I probably shouldn't. And I want to thank you guys for supporting me throughout this journey. I would not be here without your support. You're the reason why I'm able to, share this journey with you, and I thank you for all the possibilities in the future. I love you guys. If you're someone that also wants to find a community and learn how to expand your network even more, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more. This channel is all about how to grow your brand, and I teach you how I build my businesses, so stay for more if you'd like. I love to have you, and I appreciate you just for being here. You're seriously amazing. So shout out to the comment winner. Shout out to the comment winner. Comment on this post to be featured in the next episode. If you want to be the next comment winner, go comment below. I'll be looking at every single comment. Your thoughts and emotions mean so much to me, so please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts about this video. Was it helpful? Was it not? Give me some criticism and I'll check it out below. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. And check out the part 2 of this video, which will be linked down below. Follow me on Instagram to see those Instagram pics, because we're flexing on the gram. And go share this video to a friend that you want to travel with next. I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.